of a very subtlest of confrontations between you and the Lord Chancellor.
All right.
Is this all I get?
Is what all you get, sir?
The letter, written by Calthorpe, 5, 6 lines.
By all accounts, he is very pleased, sir. He'd been trying for that post for some time.
Well, he never mentioned it to me.
Well, he wouldn't, sir. Not until it was finalized. Didn't want to rock the boat. Hardly ever stopped talking about it to us, sir. Morning, noon, and night, all he ever spoke of, the Monopolies and Mergers Commission.
Why so sudden?
You'll have to ask him that, sir. If you'll pardon my bluntness, what Sir Terence does now is his affair. I'm just anxious that I can pick up where he left off.
Yes?
And get back down to business.
The key.
The key, Lord Chancellor. Ah.
Oh, what a swine you were. Do you think you've missed out on those straighter, more powerful roles because of Doctor Who?
Well, I can't really complain. I have missed out in the last 10 years since I left Doctor Who, because people naturally don't see me as ever having any reality or conviction because of the image of Doctor Who, but it was the only great success I've ever been involved in. And I can't really criticize a great success.
Oh, no.
But yes, it has impinged on what passes for a career. But really, I would rather more have been in funny things. I always wanted to make people laugh, rather than do the drama. You know, I think the drama's a bit of a doddle, really. It's the comedy that's hard. Because drama, you know, it takes people seriously. It takes man's condition to be serious, and you can bluff that one. But you can't bluff being funny. I don't think, anyway.
Well, that's led me nicely into my next guest, who's suffered a little bit from typecasting, always playing the baddie in American television series like V and Falcon Crest and Superman. I know she's very interested in comedy. She's a British actress. She's over here at the moment, visiting family and friends. Please welcome Sarah Douglas.
How are you?
There we are. Oh,
causing chaos already, I am.
Picking up my paper.
My dear.
Always playing the villains, always clad in leather or thongs. Or
I've never worn thongs, Judy.
Bits of lashing up bits. Didn't you in the Land That Time Forgot?
Oh, that was years ago. That was yes, the people that time forgot.
Oh, the people.
Which I actually think should have been called the actress that time forgot. It was. No, you know something? Leather. The Superman. I didn't wear leather in Superman.
Oh, wasn't it leather?
It was organza. No, but everybody has this preconceived idea. I was hearing Tom saying about you get set into this sort of image, and they got this sort of idea that I was this villainous, evil, leather-clad dominatrix.
But aren't they more fun to play, villains? Don't you find that, Tom?
Yes, I mean it certainly has been terrific. I mean after Superman, I had to go to America to make. I mean I needed to. First and foremost, I wore a short-cropped wig, which in England everybody said it's great. Nobody will recognise you as the villain in Superman, so you won't be typecast. What happened was that I didn't really work that much after Superman. So I took my wig off, went to America and did Falcon Crest, and started to play. You're laughing because of my hair, Judy.
Yes,
I know that. I know I had a very strange hairdo.
Dreadful wigs in the hat.
That wasn't a wig, it was my hair! Oh, no! Oh, thank you very much. You better apologise to my mother for that.
Sorry, Beryl.
Yes, thank you. No, my hair got bigger and bigger, didn't it? Until it had nowhere to go, so I left the series.
Yes.
And big earrings, rather like those little gems you're wearing on your lobes.
No, they're not big, Sarah.
Well, they look big.
They're not big.
But anyway, after Falcon Crest, what happened was that they put me into that... They did slot me into that sort of villainous mould, but it does mean that I work pretty much continually.
Well, you do a lot of those, I know. This is something you probably do as well, Tom. You do those sci-fi conventions. Do you do the Doctor Who conventions?
Yes, sometimes. Yes.
What are they like? Well, who goes?
Sarah was at one very recently.
Yes, I've just come back. I've actually only done 2 in my life. I did one 9 years ago in Springfield, Massachusetts, or some bizarre place, and it's taken me 9 years to do another one. And I have to say that they are... I've done a lot of fantasy films, as they're called, Judy.
Sorry, fantasy.
Fantasy. And the fans are terrific. I mean, they will follow you. I mean, I know you have the most fabulous following at Doctor Who. I mean, this weekend and last weekend in New York, I mean, they're very keen to know anything about Doctor Who. They love it over there. They're very, very faithful. I mean, they turn up wherever you come. But they're a little bizarre.
Yeah.
Little bizarre, yes. I mean, but they're terrific fans, so you can't knock it. And that's certainly, for me, I mean, they've followed my career, and along with my mum, it's nice to know that, you know, there are people out there that do know what you're up to all the time. You know?
Would you like to work more in America, Tom?
Well, I don't know that I would really, because I don't know much about what goes on in America, really, because I only go to big cities, so that's not real at all. So I'm staying in big hotels and talking to fans. I think if I could get something gentle and heroic to do, but it seems now, you see, the thing is that I don't mean that I'm a rampant vegetarian, but I'm certainly not a cannibal. And I mean, while there are some people I could quite happily shoot cleanly, I don't want to murder anyone, so I'm not interested really in serial killing and cannibalism and brutality and all that kind of thing, which of course necessarily preoccupies a lot of filmmakers now, so they wouldn't give me those sort of parts, would they, really?
But you do earn an incredible amount of money over there, don't you?
It's certainly, I mean, the reason that I stay, really, I mean, I've just come home now because I wanted to meet with the producer, and I would love to be able to work here more often. And in fact, at the end of this year, I'm going to do a film here, but it is an American film that's being shot here in England. By staying in America, at least I can earn a living, because there's always one of those pretty ghastly roles, admittedly, that you can do if you need something to sort of just make a little bit of money.
Oh, It's a Knockout.
Oh, yes.
That was amazing.
Oh, well, I told you that story, yes.
Am I not allowed to tell that
No,
story?
you can tell it, Judy. Any other stories you want to tell?
No,
we
you
are
tell it.
old friends, you probably.
No, you tell
Very
it.
old friends.
One of us is older than the other, but anyway. So, no.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Gosh, you've thrown me completely now. Well, I did a thing which is similar to It's a Knockout in America, and I was telling you last week that I won. My team, I fell over, I broke my wrist, I cut myself, I did everything wrong, but my team, which was the Falcon Crest team, we won our particular, the event, and I won $26,000 and a car, as each member of the team won. Now, I know for a fact that here, if you do the same sort of thing, like an It's a Knockout type thing, you get, if you're lucky, you get 500 quid, and you have to give it to charity.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not giving anything to charity. Sorry. So, I mean, there are little things like that. You can do things to make, to make ends meet, as they say. And indeed, these conventions that I'm a little bit flippant about, I mean, they pay us very handsomely and are very generous and kind. And it makes up for coming home and working here in England, which one of the problems with living in America is people think you've gone Hollywood, which means literally that you won't, you know, your money, you get paid an awful lot of money, you need certain trappings. And here at Pebble Mill, I think I've proved that we don't expect all the trappings, Judy.
Thank you very much.
It was very kind of you to send your bicycle to pick me up this morning.
And you didn't get any of the trappings.
No trappings.
Tell me about this wonderful expression Sarah said to me the other week. What premise are you working on? I said, well, the same studios, thinking she thought I was in a shop or something.
I was talking about, you were mentioning earlier on about comedy. I finally sat down and wrote something in America because I got so fed up with not being able to break the mould of playing the villain that I sat down and wrote a comedy script, very much with myself in mind as the one character. And this is, of course, I was explaining to Judy the premise of this particular project, and you fell off your chair and thought this was terribly funny to call it a premise. But the story was what I was talking about. I'd created this whole idea with myself in mind. I have indeed, I'm in the middle of a deal. At this moment in time, it's being negotiated, but they've told me I'm too old to play the role that I'd written for myself. Now, this is typical. They said, you've got to be at least 9 years younger. I said, but I created it for me. And they said, oh, you're perfect. You can cast whoever you want. You can, you know, but you're too old for it. So,
who do you fancy as you, then?
Well, it's not being me. It's not actually playing me. It was just a character that we know and love.
That you created for you?
Yes, that I created for me. But it's funny. They're very big on youth in America, as we know. So. You do ever so nicely over there,
Thank you very
Judy.
much. Tom, you're writing your autobiography, aren't you, Tom?
Well, I mean, I'm not... I have tried to write my autobiography, and I found it so... first of all, I didn't believe a word of it. And then I threw it away, and then that was a pity because, you know, you don't have to believe your autobiography, do you?
No.
But anyway, I threw it away. But people do keep nudging me and saying, Tom, write a memoir or something like that. And as, of course, I am very interested in fiction, I don't see why I shouldn't write a successful autobiography.
Well, no.
But I'll try again, perhaps, yeah.
Well, we are shortly to see you in a bit of comedy, because you're doing Cluedo.
I'm doing Cluedo, yes.
Comedy,
I'm playing, yes, Professor Plum, yes. Apparently, I'm marvellously unconvincing.
You're not.
But, I mean, that's all right, because that might be misleading. The whole idea of Cluedo, isn't it, is to mislead the opposition or the guessers in the game. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for coming along today. Sarah, I look forward to you coming back and filming next year. It'll be very nice. Perhaps we'll talk about the film, which is The Boy Who...
Who Saw Truth.
Thank you very much. Sarah Douglas, Tom Baker.
Thank you.